F1-E returned to France now for the French Grand Prix. And the main news was that Ferrari and Red Bull both brought upgrades, hoping to close the gap that Renault had formed over the last few races. In Red Bull's case, they were hoping that Gasly would be able to lead them to the front, while thus hopefully also getting Verstappen further out the field. Meanwhile, Mercedes' upgrades fan failed again. An internal review has been launched as to how these upgrades are failing, whether or not who is responsible for ultimately for the failure of the upgrades. But at Ferrari, they look to close the gap on Renault. They also hope that Vettel will be able to support Leclerc in the races to come, especially the fact that Leclerc looked like he would be driving Ferrari's championship towards Renault in the coming races. But ultimately, Renault, who are currently setting the fastest pace at their home Grand Prix. Now it's time for the grid for today's French Grand Prix. And Daniel Ricciardo takes pole for Renault at their home Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc starts second, with Sebastian Vettel as real gunner in third. Pierre Gasly starts fourth. Hülkenberg is only down in fifth. And Hamilton starts sixth. Verstappen again straight in seventh. Massa eighth. Van Dorn ninth. And Pascal Wehrlein rounds out the top 10. So the top 10 sees Robert Kubica, a track that's not suitable to the Cheetah car. Sainz is 12th, followed by Da Costa in 13th, closest to Costa's been so far. Perez is 14th with Giovinazzi behind him. Verne, another shocking qualifying from him, with Nasser, Russell, Evans and Magnussen lining up the grid for today's French Grand Prix. Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the F1-E mod, episode number 8 for today for the French Grand Prix. I just got to say quick apologies for the lack of this series being on the channel. It is coming back. I've completed recording for this, so I've just got to go and do editing and also commentary, of course, in the upcoming weeks. So I'm confident that we can get this and Final Fantasy finished. Goodbye F1 2018 episodes may or may not happen. We'll have to wait and see how we get on, but I'm confident we should be able to finish the upload schedule.
You should have some space going into the first corner, so try to keep it tidy.
Well, this track hasn't really been a good track of mine recently. Although you can say that we did take pole here in Final Fantasy, but this of course is F1-E mod, a different kettle of fish. We are doing, of course, the one stop, and it's a nice sunset here on the south coast of France. We get ready for 5 red lights and the usual horrendous start. Although it's better than usual, although Hülkenberg is already through. Hamilton try and go through. We're going to try and dive down the inside of Nico Hülkenberg, but we have to lift off the throttle, otherwise we'd have ploughed into the side and then we've already lost 5th place. Although this is Gasly's home Grand Prix as well, him being French. Not a circuit that I particularly like, but still we thought it needed to come back at some point. Well, we're actually following the Formula E calendar with F1 tracks, so Paris is on the track, and unfortunately he'll be back next year as Hamilton tries to go around our side. We're going to force the Brit off to the track, but Massa's now going to come. We're going to go 3 well. We're going to have to lift off, otherwise there's going to be contact. We're going to try and get back down the inside of Hamilton, but it's not going to be doing that. Unfortunately, again, a poor bit of poor planning, poor engine work by the Audi team, as we're going to go around the outside now. Hamilton into the final corner and get the power down on the straight, and that's us back up into P6, so not bad overtake there. So we're coming in for a one and only stop very shortly. Hamilton tries to keep out in the end, but we'll force him out and feed him to Verstappen. And now, of course, moving to lap 4. Unfortunately, we would have had DRS on Massa, but we have to come in at the end of lap 4 for our one and only stop onto a set of super softs. Obviously, a couple of more people are going a lot further.
Release.
2.5 second stop, not that bad. Hulkenberg is only that Massa is, of course, just ahead of us, and of course that is last place. Yes, it's not really much we can do about this now. We just have to think, or something's happening to Felipe Massa, and safety car deployed. So Massa, I believe, has retired with a mechanical failure, and he is parked there on the right hand side. So moving to lap 7, the safety car is coming in. Fortunately, everybody, I think, has made their, most people have made their stops, apart from, I believe, Van Dorn and Kubica, or Vern. One of the cheetah cars is leading the way.
Current forecast is 5 or 10 more minutes of rain before it dries up.
So we've actually got rain on track, as you can see. It's a little bit dark, but we're actually going to be continuing with dry tyres, as it is Kubica leading the front. Johnny Verne, there's yellow flags, and Kevin Magnussen is round the wrong way. What's happened to Magnussen? He's got Sebastian Vettel who's come in the pits. Magnussen hasn't come in the pits. And that's Magnussen to the... Well, there's a poor day now for the Porsche Dragon side. We're going to go around the outside now of Massa, turn to the inside. We go down the inside of Russell as well, and that is up into P9, which will turn to P6 by the time everybody comes and makes their stops. Fortunately, Verstappen has jumped us in the pits, so it'll be up to us now to catch him, but I don't think we're not going to catch him, unfortunately. This is the last lap of the race. A bit of a boring affair, as Perez seems to have a issue. I believe he's just got a puncture, so he's going to crawl to the finish. Daniel Ricciardo, I believe, has won his Grand Prix, where from the start finish, and Renault clearly are still faster than both Red Bull and Ferrari. P6 it is.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
We were lucky because we were 3 wide at one point with Massa and Hamilton, but we did have to bail out, which ultimately cost us a bit of time, but the safety car really was screwed it over. So Ricciardo won from Leclerc. Hulkenberg came up from 3rd in the end, overtaking Vettel in 4th. Verstappen was 5th, ourselves in 6th. Massa 7th, Verne 8th, Hamilton 9th, and it was Pascal Wehrlein who actually ran out the top 10. Moving outside the top 10 was Robert Kubica in 11th place. Carlos Sainz was 12th, McLaren. Mitch Evans was, there's a typo there, apologies, it should actually be Panasonic, not Neo. Jaguar from 19th. Van Dorn was 14th. Da Costa 15th. Giovinazzi 16th. Russell was 17th. Magnussen with his stint was 18th. And for some reason Perez was last, of course, as a failing to finish. So yes, moving to the constructors now, and drivers' championship. It's very close to the top between Leclerc, Ricciardo, and Hulkenberg. 1 point separating those three. So very close now in the championship. Ourselves as Gasly is P4, though that's not too much of a gap that we can close up to. Hamilton, though, is ebbing away slightly, and Vettel in 7th. Max Verstappen is some way behind. Him and Kubica are going toe to toe for the end of the race, the end of the year at this point. In terms of constructors, it's not actually any change because people are actually spaced out so much that they have to get a 1-2 to be able to make significant ground, which is unfortunate, but that's what happens when you only have 10 teams. It would be nice to have some more, but 10 teams is what F1 has, so we have to go with the game. I can't add more teams, unfortunately. So yes, that's going to be it for today's episode of F1-E Mod 2019. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you see more episodes like this. Episode 9 should be coming tomorrow. It'll be around Monaco. I can tell you it's going to be very chaotic, as you would expect from Formula E. Until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.